What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazique, aka Unique Mazique, the hardest working man in sports and gaming. And I am coming to you today. I'm in Chicago, not really, kind of, sort of. Maybe it looks like that. I'm in the water. No, not really. But I want to talk to you today about the Chicago Bulls, Coby White in particular. And I'm going to tell you right now, man, I got a question. And this question, I guess, is for Jim Boylan. I guess it's for somebody else. I don't know who I don't know who all it's for, but it's a question for somebody. And I got to figure out, and somebody's got to explain to me why Coby White isn't starting yet. And I would be lying if I didn't say that some of this has to do with the current hot streak he's on. In case you didn't know, Coby White has 3 straight 30-point games, right? Back-to-back 33-point games and a 35-point game. Now, granted, he did play 33 and 34 and 34 minutes in those games, so it's not as if he's not getting the minutes. But what I would love to see happen is I would love to see him get on the floor, get the rhythm going early, get the team off to a solid start, and be able to essentially get just get that rhythm playing with that first unit early. And I would love to see the Bulls get off to some better starts than what they've gotten off to. And it's not to say he's not playing in the first quarter or anything like that. If you look at the loss to the Suns, the Bulls essentially fell apart in the second half. They had a lead at the half, and that's the first game he had, the huge game, had the 33 points. Now, they actually beat the Wizards, which is not a good team. They dominated the first half, and they only lost the fourth quarter, but they got off to a solid start there. But if you look at the last game against the Thunder, they were smashed in the first half completely. They had a serious comeback in the third, and then Oklahoma City held them off in the fourth. And one of the things is, like, I understand one train of thought with keeping Coby White as a six man and as your scorer off the bench. Many teams struggle to find depth, and they struggle to find somebody who can create their own offense off the bench. I think that's something that the Lakers are actually missing, someone on that second unit who can create their own offense. And I get it. I understand the value in that. But generally, when you have a team that is looking for something like that, we're talking about a team that already has an established starting lineup. They have scoring on that main unit, and they're keeping this very talented offensive player on the second unit because that second unit is what needs to spark. But usually in that type of situation, the first unit, the starters, are already solid enough offensively. I mean, just think back of some of the top six men for good teams. Manu Ginobili didn't have to start because of the way the situation was. Jamal Crawford played for those good Clipper teams. He didn't have to start. You just look at these players who have played this six-man role, and you see usually when they're kept on the bench, it's because the starters are tight. I mean, just look at it right now. Derrick Rose was having a fantastic season coming off the bench for the Pistons, but after a while, Detroit just really needed his offense in that starting unit. I don't think I need to tell anybody that the Bulls starting lineup is not in a position where they can afford to have arguably their second most explosive scorer coming off the bench. I just don't see how that makes any sense, right? And what we've been looking at, especially with Otto, now if Otto Porter wasn't injured, I can almost understand why you would keep him on the bench. But with Otto Porter out, missing almost this entire season, the Bulls have started anybody from Shaq Harrison to Ryan Arcidiacono to Chris Dunn. All of these different people have started in like a 3-guard rotation. None of those guys bring the offensive punch that Coby White delivers. And if you think about how tall Tomas Satoransky is, it really almost becomes almost inconsequential in terms of you don't worry about suffering from a size standpoint if you start Satoransky, Levine, and Coby White, because Satoransky, from a length standpoint, could probably guard small forwards. He could probably guard some stretch fours if you're talking about a forward that's not going to bang him inside. Levine's got the two, and you then essentially have Coby White guarding the point guards. And honestly, if you're not talking about Chris Dunn, you're probably not looking at a significant drop off from a defensive standpoint if Coby White is guarding the point guards. And ultimately, this is what the Bulls drafted him to be, is a point guard. And it's just amazing to me that he really has had almost no time to find for us to find out if this is what indeed he can be. Like I said, I don't want to get too gassed up on 3 straight 30-point games, but we can't ignore it, right? We got back-to-back 33-point games, a 35-point game against Oklahoma City. He's finally shooting the ball with just great consistency. Oh, do you realize over the last 3 games, right? He is, what is this, 18 of 31 from 3-point range. That is blazing hot from 3. Blazing hot. He's shooting well from the free throw line. He's rebounding well over the same 3-game stretch. He's got 16 rebounds in 3 games. That's over 5 rebounds a game. The assists are a little over 2 assists a game. He's averaging a steal a game over this time. Now he did have some turnover issues in those first 2 games, but in the last 35-point game, he only had 1 turnover. So I'm really just look at where the Bulls are. I mean, come on, guys. Let's just take a look. Just think about this. Right now, the Bulls are 20 and 39. You know, nearly 20 games under 500. And you have your lottery pick that was drafted to be a point guard, whatever you want to think about it, you got to say that he was drafted partially to play the point guard at some stretch. Why in the world are we not finding out if he can play the point guard? Why in the world are we not finding out if he's a starter at all, if he can be effective in a starter role? This season is blown to bits already. It is absolutely time to find out what you have. So now you got Wendell Carter Jr., Denzel Valentine, and I believe Daniel Gafford coming back from injury soon. They have a Windy City Bulls rehab assignment, and then they'll be brought up after that. I suppose Otto Porter will play at some point, but because you're looking at next year, he has a player option for a fantastic amount of money. I'm quite sure he's not in a rush. Next year, I'm pretty sure he probably won't miss many games at all, because that part of his contract will be over. But I'm just saying, man, this for me is about Coby White, and I can't for the life of me understand why he's not starting. I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the in the comment section. Tell me what you think. And I know Jim Boylan is absolute ridiculous as a head coach. I get it. And the front office is just as ridiculous for not recognizing their mistake in appointing him a head coach, and then furthermore exacerbating that issue by extending him. I know all that. But do you guys have beyond just saying Jim Boylan's an idiot, beyond that, do you have an explanation that, like, why Coby White isn't starting yet? I would love to hear what you guys have to say. That's all I got for you today. I appreciate you watching. God bless and peace.